Well, hello and welcome to Tuesday's Tips. This is Meg Brinchler, the host of the Star Coach Show, and we are diving into the topic of change today. Change is one of those things that's sort of double-sided, in as much as it can be disoriented, it can throw us off our game, it can create a feeling of imbalance, and at the same time, life without change, life without any sort of challenge to grow and expand can get stagnant. And we can potentially keep ourselves from giving what we need to give, showing up the way we need to show up if we are adverse to change. So today we're going to be talking about some of the benefits that come with change and how can you potentially set yourself up to engage fully with change and pay attention to the way you're thinking about it and what you're doing to provide yourself with the support and resources that you need. So, interestingly, today I had lunch with a friend who I haven't seen in a while, and I'd already planned today's Tuesday tips. So it was several hours before I joined you. And she was talking about the changes that have occurred in her life. And some were unexpected, and she had to sort of pivot in the moment. And she said to me, and this is so key, I had to laugh and say to her, "Oh my gosh, I'm talking about this today in the Tuesday tips. How serendipitous that, it's coming up right now." She said, sometimes we have to get rid of some things to make room for the others. And that was exactly in line with what I wanted to talk to you about. When we hold on to things that aren't serving us or aren't challenging us, or maybe we are to a place where they're really no longer benefiting us, we are just tolerating them, or we're stuck in a path that we believe is the path that we're supposed to be on. But when something gets taken away from us or shifted out of our control, it sort of opens the door to new things to come in. Now, I am not being Pollyanna, and my Tuesday tips today is not about every change that happens in life is good and embrace every change. There are changes that we disagree with. There are changes that are not in our control, changes that create chaos and difficult situations. And yet, even in the face of those changes, we have to decide, how am I going to show up in the face of that? Even when there is a change that's occurring that we would not have chosen for ourselves, we wouldn't have chosen for our community, whatever that is, the reality is we still have to decide, what am I going to do in the face of that? Now, what I wanted to talk about today was zeroing in a little bit more into the changes that we choose to make in the face of being business owners, leaders, people who are service providers for other people. And when we make a choice to challenge ourselves with a change. So what benefits does that bring? What benefits does stepping into that place of change bring to each of us through that lens? First of all, it opens up the opportunity for growth and development. When we are able to flow with changes, to be able to see what it is, how we do want to engage, once again, even with those changes that we didn't choose for ourselves, that develops resilience, that develops adaptability. I sometimes think about, I always felt very blessed that I grew up in the same house the whole time. As a matter of fact, not only did I grow up in the same house, but I grew up on property that began as a 100-acre farm, a small farm in Michigan, where on one side of the acreage, my great grandparents lived. Behind our house, my grandparents lived. And then when my dad got married, he was given land on that land to build the house that I grew up in, that he brought my mom to as newlyweds, and where they raised all of us. So, in the face of that, I often think how blessed I was that I grew up on that same parcel of land in the same house. Then my parents built their retirement home on the same land as well. And so I grew up with the same group of kids, like from kindergarten through graduation. And yet I meet people and engage with people who have moved their whole lives, like they were in the military, or I actually, the neighbor across the street, we just moved into a new house. She was talking about the fact that she rarely completed a school year in the same school. To me, that just blows my mind. So both of those situations can create their own gifts and have their own strengths. But boy, maybe my adaptability and my ability to just flow didn't come as natural for me as it came for my neighbor across the street, because that's just kind of how she grew up. But we do, when we're able to look at change as an opportunity, it does build our resilience, our adaptability. It builds our problem solving and our creativity. And so I want you to look through the lens of being a business owner and think, how can I step into a change that stretches me a little bit, that requires that I think outside of my comfort zone, that maybe I do something that is maybe not what I would normally. Maybe for you, doing a video like this is like, I don't want to do that. But it would give you the opportunity to get in front of people that you don't normally get in front of and share some wisdom. Or maybe for you, going to a conference that you would never normally go to, because maybe you don't like to be away from home and be whatever. I just encourage you to think about, what is a stretch? What is something you can do to potentially step out of your comfort zone and get that growth and development? This is another gift that change gives. It gives us new perspective. It encourages us to challenge our assumptions and open our lens. So as a coach and as a coach instructor, I am frequently saying to the students that I work with, our clients are looking at things a particular way. Our job as the coach is to see the way that they're seeing it, but then to also ask questions and expand that lens. Well, the same kind of thing that change offers you, a way to expand your lens, to look at the way that you have been looking at things and wonder what else could be true, what truly matters in this situation. Change offers that, and us to step into innovation and make progress, to potentially look at different ways of doing things. So I have had the Star Coach community for a couple of years now. We have a great, robust community with 4 live events a month. And because we've been doing it a couple of years, I've been leaning back into the members saying, okay, is this working for you? Are there things we need to do differently? We have these 4 live events. We do our Q&A. We do our coaching demo. We do a Star Power Hour with the special guest. And we do a social time. How's that working for you? Is that meeting your needs? Is the library of resources meeting your needs? We need to continually be innovative with the things that we offer our clients and the ways that we expand and grow. I teach several courses on coaching, and I'm looking at them all. Is this coming the way that, is it delivering the message that I want it to? Is it being innovative and new? So those are things I just want you to think about. What are you offering your clients? And are you staying on that edge of innovation? When we tap into what we need in the face of change, what I would ask you is to think about, what is your mindset when it comes to change? What are you telling yourself that is true about that? So if in fact we are in that place of fixed mindset of, this is the way I've always done things, it's the way I'm going to continue to do things, what opportunity might you be missing because you're in that fixed mindset? If you can step into the growth mindset and embrace being adaptable, looking at, what change can teach you, what change can, what doors it can open. Yeah, sometimes doors close, windows open, whatever analogy you want to use, but it becomes determining every story that we tell ourselves, another story could be true as well. So I like to ask myself, okay, what's true about this? But what else could be true? And what else could be true? Donna Zajan and I talked about this in her latest episode of the Star Coach Show. I'm not exactly positive what episode it is, but she really was talking about how we step into our greatness as a coach. Her Donna Zajan, I'll actually, after this, I'll go back and put the link in for her show. But that was a great show about challenging our mindset, since it's all made up. And yes, we look for the evidence to support whatever it is that we're looking for. What do we really want to be true? And how are we embracing it through our mindset? So if we can step into change being as positive as possible, it becomes looking at our mindset, developing scenarios in our minds that help create possibility and success. What is the success story? I challenge my clients to think about, let's paint a picture of the success that we're moving toward. Because until our destination is clear, it is difficult to plot a path towards it. Fuzzy destinations are difficult to get to, right? We're often, clearer about where we don't want to be than where we do want to be. So challenge yourself to think about, what's the potential of this change? Where do I hope that it takes me? How clear can I get about my destination, about the path that I could walk? Because when you're clear about it, you're that much closer to getting there. Mindset and the stories we tell ourselves are either opening possibility to success or closing it down for us. Now, the other thing I would say is, in addition to mindset and being flexible and looking for opportunity and choosing to believe, even in the face of things that we don't like to be true, if we realize this change is in front of me, or something was taken away from me, or something's being put on me, even in that, we have the choice of how we're going to respond. And mindset is a huge part of that. The other side of that is, what support would you need in the way of people, in the way of resources that would help you be successful in whatever change is in front of you. So it might be that you read up or research about something that, it's not like we have any shortage of possibility at our fingertips. As a matter of fact, often it becomes the overabundance of resources that slows us down more than not having it at all. So getting clear about, what do I need? What could I read about? What could I listen to? Who could I speak with that could be supportive in this? What tools might I need? What strategies are there that are available? And then finally, I would say that change in the face of isolation is often more daunting. So community and being with like-minded people, or being with people who understand what your goal is, who are able to support you towards that goal, can be huge. As I mentioned, we have the Star Coach community, which, by the way, is open to, explore it if you'd like at starcoachshow.com/community. It is a beautiful place to be, especially if you're a coach who is trying to make things happen and is tired of being isolated doing that, would like some accountability, some mind support in, idea sharing and exploration of resources, and just doggone being together with other people. It's a pretty fantastic thing. So community offers belonging and emotional support. It involves resources and knowledge. Whatever the community is that surrounds you in your aspect of change, I would just encourage you to find a group, a community, whether it's 2 other people or hundreds of other people. What do you need to help you step into the changes that are in front of you, to give you the accountability and the motivation that you need to be able to fully embrace that, to challenge your perspective and encourage you to make new meaning out of the things that are in front of us? If we are stuck and frustrated and unable to tap into the purpose of something, that can be incredibly frustrating and not help us get to where we want to be. So in that shared understanding and maybe support and challenge, whether it's in a community, a mastermind you create for yourself, a group of people that you gather with, whatever that is, isolation doesn't tend to help us see the possibility in the changes ahead of us. So as we sort of begin to wind down these Tuesday tips, I would just say this, the reality is change needs to happen, and not all changes need to happen, but often changes in front of us, and we either have to adapt to it or we want to expand into new possibility and change to be the best we can be. Otherwise, we become stagnant. We don't grow and flourish the way that we can. That is the focus of tomorrow's brand new Star Coach episode with the amazing Kat O'Sullivan. Kat is a best-selling author. She is somebody who made a major change in her life. And her belief is, when shift happens, magic can happen. And that's what we're going to talk about in tomorrow's episode. So remember, a brand new Star Coach episode comes out every Wednesday morning. Be sure to subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast so that you never miss a minute of the amazing content that my guests share. Please, if you're watching this on YouTube, take a minute to subscribe. I'd love to have you as a subscriber so that you know whenever we're sending out new tidbits of information, it's going to be on the YouTube channel. If you are watching me on LinkedIn or Facebook, be sure to follow so that you once again also never miss a minute of the content. So, as we're wrapping up today, just want you to remember that while change can be daunting, it can also be a wonderful opportunity. Let's get clear about the destination that you're trying to get to and begin to challenge yourself. What are a few changes that you could make that get you closer to where you want to be? Whether it's offering a different product or service to your clients, whether it's the way you want to show up as a leader to your team, whatever that is, like get clear about what that destination is. And remember that that change does offer us the opportunity to grow, to expand, to flourish. We just need to get clear about the way we want to be in the face of that change. So until next week, this is Meg Rentschler wishing you the best for your success. Just actually remember that it's not just next week because I do the live for the Star Coach Show, usually on the third Thursday of the month at 1 p.m. Central. But this month in March, I'm going to be at a conference on the third Thursday of the month. So I'm actually doing my live this Thursday, March 13th at 1 p.m. Central. So hop right back on here if you want to be a part of the live taping of the Star Coach Show. This month in the live, we're going to be looking at ways to increase your visibility as a coach. And we're going to look at, does sponsoring events make sense? Does, whether you're buying a table or being a sponsor or even, sponsoring that you get to speak also, is that a great way to invest your resources to grow your business? So that's going to be the topic this week or this month in my solo show. Feel free to join me for the live on Thursday. And now I wish you the very best for your success. Have an awesome week.